For those who played Super Mario Land for the Game Boy, yeah, the freaking Game Boy. I mean, who the heck remembers the Game Boy, huh? But I don't know. For anyone who's played on the Game Boy who may know about Super Mario Land, yeah, this was the Tri-Kingdom music, and you know, I felt like it was kind of appropriate. In one way it doesn't fit, and another way it does, but we're not gonna get too far into that because for this video, I want to talk about stuff relating to this deck again. Now, this for wow. To kind of be like a reminder to some people, I guess, this deck is one that I have in the works right now. You know, making adjustments here and there. I had a rough build in the first video I posted before this one. And, you know, I would have people suggest thoughts and, you know, I would try to find stuff. And, you know, I found a couple of things. I found a couple of things that we might be able to use. So, anyways, without any further ado, let's get into some of these cards that I found that we might be able to use, or heck, stuff I'll just try out and maybe some other people could try to use as well. First card, Queen Angel of Roses. She is an Earth Plant effect, level 7, 2400 attack, 1300 defense. There's a bit of interesting trivia along with this card, but you know, I'll talk a little bit about it after I read the effect and stuff like that. So the effect is, you contribute summon this card in face-up attack position by attributing one plant-type monster. Once per turn during your standby phase, destroy the one face-up monster on the field with the lowest attack. If it's a tie, you get to choose. Alright, so that last part, you gotta destroy a face-up monster on the field with the lowest attack. You don't got a choice in the matter. Like, if she's the only monster on the field that's face-up, she's pretty much gonna destroy herself, so you kinda don't want that. So, I mean, there's a couple ways you could remedy this problem. I mean, there's like a few tips around there or whatever, but one, I'm going to be particularly somewhat abusing it. I don't even know if you can really abuse it that well, but abusing it with Thalia, Princess of the Cherry Blossoms. Now, Thalia's effect that protects all other plant-type monsters on the field from being destroyed by card effects. Remember, it also applies even when there's a second copy of herself on the field. So in that case, you know, none of your no plant-type monsters on the field can be destroyed by card effects. Bottomless, Trap Hole, Dark Hole, Torrential Tribute, Mirror Force, etc. Anything that would destroy cards on the field, they're going to be pretty much safe. So that's pretty nice. Now with Queen Angel of Roses, this also applies to her own effect, which would end up destroying herself sometimes if she just happens to be the only monster who happens to have the lowest attack. So you can kind of fix that problem up because Thalia will protect her basically. And it'll kind of be a deterrent for the opponent to try to stall with monsters for forever or whatever. And because, you know, you'll destroy the monster at the standby phase and stuff like that. So that's kind of cool. So, I mean, there's a few combos you can do with it, but mainly for trivia wise, I mean, she kind of reminds me of Akiza. I say that because, like, she's got like that mask or whatever. Like if you look at the artwork, she's got that mask. And she's kind of wearing an outfit very similar to Akiza. And in fact, her wings are kind of like the Black Rose Dragon. In fact, they pretty much are. They're pretty much like the Black Rose Dragon. She's a level 7 monster like Black Rose. And she's got 2400 attack like Black Rose. Coincidence? Some may say so, but I think not. I personally think it's Akiza in monster form. You probably didn't think about that, did you? Well, you do now. So there you go. There's your useless trivia of the day that you probably could have found out on your own. But I mean, I already figured it out on my own before that. So, yay. Next card, Tree Spirit of the Thalias. I don't even know if I pronounced this card's name right or whatever, but this card was particularly mentioned to me by Project. I'll leave a link to his channel in the description. But yeah, I'm gonna give him like a noteworthy shout out because he actually brought this card up and this was something I actually wanted to talk about in a video. So yeah, here we go. Tree Spirit of the Thalias. She is a rank 3 monster. Earth Plant Exceeds effect. Takes 2 level 3 Earth monsters to make. Once per turn, you can detach 1 Exceeds material from this card, then activate one of these effects. Effect number 1. Send 1 plant type monster from your deck to the graveyard. Effect number 2, target one plant type monster in your graveyard, special summon that target in face up defense position. Alright, so the effects are very good. They're very good effects for a plant deck because, you know, you want to send plant type monsters from deck to the grave like Spore, Dandelion, etc. And in this deck, it's really good if I'm using something like Call of the Haunted. So I can like, okay, for the effect, I can send Thalia to the graveyard or Gigaplant, then use Call of the Haunted, bring it back, bring either of them back, and then go from there. Effect number 2 is pretty nice too because you could bring back something like Lonefire Blossom and activate his effect to summon another plant type monster from your deck. So, I mean, it comes with quite a few cards. Now, this was a card that I wasn't going to use initially because of the fact that it had to be 2 level 3 Earths. There aren't that many Earth plants that are level 3. And, you know, I'm not sure if I want to run like Rescue Rabbit for Jerry Beansman. Yeah, Jerry Beansman. I'm pretty sure people know about Jerry Beansman, man. But yeah, he's a level 3 normal plant with 1750 attack. I mean, I don't know if I want to run Rescue Rabbit and do that. But there is a way to remedy this problem that has some synergy because of the other card I'm going to talk about after this one, which is Crane. Now, Crane is an interesting card, and I'm sure people will kind of know about this card, but I'll go over it anyway since I'm mentioning it for the first time. When this card is normal summoned, you can target one level 3 monster in your graveyard, special summon that target. Its effects are negated. You can only use the effect of Crane once per turn. He's level 3, Winged Beast, effect 300 attack, 900 defense. So I completely set him all backwards. And in the artwork, he is clearly a machine, but he's a Winged Beast. Okay, cool. Logic! I mean, logic in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, what is that, you may ask? I have no freaking idea. I mean, Konami is just weird when it comes to this kind of stuff. I mean, especially with the names too. I mean, the name Crane, it's like it's a freaking pun off like the bird, you know, crane and the freaking crane mechanism. So, yeah, that's kind of crazy, I know, but kind of getting ahead of myself or going too far into that. But yeah, it's nice because he's level 3 and you could bring back something like Dandelion from the graveyard, so you can exceed into Tree Spirit and then activate one of the effects by detaching Dandelion and then get the 2 fluff tokens, so you could probably do some other crazy combos in the same turn. So it's not bad. And especially since the next card I'm going to talk about could also work with Crane. And, you know, works with the whole theme of plant type monsters as well. And that card I'm talking about is Rose Archer. So she's an Earth Warrior effect, level 3, 1000 attack, 100 defense. The effect is, during either player's turn when an opponent's trap card is activated, if you control a plant type monster, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard. Negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. Alright, so she's pretty much a hand trap for plant type monsters that can negate trap cards and destroy them. So yeah, that's actually kind of cool. I mean, I don't think there's been any other hand trap that could do that besides like Herald of Purple Light from like Enemy of Justice. Yeah, I know some people are probably like, how do you know about that shit? Trust me, I know about some of these weird cards from like back in the older sets that people never use. I mean, I've also thought about like the Majestic Max and the weird Elemental Hero Phoenix Enforcer and all that weird shit. I don't know. But yeah, it's pretty cool, and she's level 3 Earth, so it also has some synergy with Crane. So yeah, synergy! But yeah, that's just something I thought about running in the deck, and Rose Archer is something I'm testing out right now. So, I mean, you know, I'll try to get more games with this later, but I want to talk about other stuff in the future, so we're gonna not go too far into this stuff. And finally, I want to talk about one more card. Now, what's interesting about this card is that we don't know all that much about this, about like the card itself. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Wait, why would you talk about a card like that? Well, the thing is, technically, I know about this card, and this was also mentioned to me by Project. So the card I'm talking about is number 87, Queen of the Night. Now, Queen of the Night, it's like very cool artwork. I mean, even if the picture is kind of blurry, because, you know, Konami likes to blur certain cards, especially when, you know, the card's not out yet, and sometimes they blur the card so you can't read everything. But yeah, Queen of the Night. She has a water, plant exceeds effect, rank 8, 1200 attack, 2800 defense. Now, the attack and defense are swapped from Thalia, Princess of Cherry Blossoms, because she has 2800 attack and 1200 defense. Coincidence? I don't know, but it's kind of weird, really. But as far as the level 8 monsters, we don't know how many. Could be 2, could be 3. Hope it's 2, just because it makes my life a lot easier. So yeah, we only know one of its effects. She has 3 quick effects that you can use on either turn. So we only know one effect so far. I guess some people managed to read what it said, because even though the image is all blurred out. Target one plant type monster on the field. Change that target to face down defense position. Now that's pretty much like a Book of Moon for plant type monsters. So for like the mirror match, you can flip a plant type monster face down. So you can maybe disrupt an opponent's plays with plants by flipping one of their key monsters face down. So, and I mean, she's kind of a wall too, so you can kind of disrupt, and then you can, you know, run them over with like one of your other monsters. And so it's kind of cool. And then the other 2 effects we don't even know of. I think one involves a face-up monster. Now we don't even know what that does or what the last effect does. I think they all like target something. So I don't know. Once we know more about this card, you know, I'm definitely gonna, you know, I'll definitely test her out regardless. Like once we know everything, and you know, I'm probably gonna use her in the deck regardless, just because. I mean, why wouldn't I? I mean, it's a plant support technically, so. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird how we're getting like random plant support all of a sudden. I mean, we have Thalia, Princess of Cherry Blossoms, and honestly, she's becoming one of my favorite cards right now. Yeah. Anyways, that being said, once we figure out all the effects, you know, I'll go more into detail about number 87, Queen of the Night, and, you know, combos, and, you know, how testing went, stuff like that. But, you know, for now, I mean, that's pretty much where I gotta draw the line. Yeah, draw the line, even though I don't have a pencil in front of me to actually do it or whatever. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. You know, let me know what you guys think about this random plant support stuff, and, you know, the stuff I found out, because some of these are actually not bad, and some of it I have to test. But they seem pretty good, and heck, some of these you probably never even knew about until I brought them up. So yeah, especially Queen Angel Roses. I know people probably don't know about this card, because out of the pack she was in the V-Jump Edition 1, we got all the cards in the TCG except for her, so don't know what's up with that. We might get her in the future in like an import or some kind or whatever, but we'll have to see. So yeah, this is Lee Speed signing out. Peace.